Good evening. I've written a few poems, but I wrote this one in a month ago. My writing has changed. So let me read it to you. Hope you like it. Amen. Hold your hands up, my sister, so I can stand with you. In the breaking dawn of the tomorrow's promise, when shadows retreat from corners where they lingered too long, I'll call to you across the divides that carved between us. Hold your hand up, my sister, so I can stand with you, not in surrender, never in defeat, but in the ancient jest of connection, palm to palm, heart to heart, in the sacred architect of solidarity, where two become many, where many become unstoppable. Your hands weathered by labor they unvalued, scarred by battles they pretend were being fought, calloused by carrying burdens that was never yours alone. Their hands, those hands that have needed bread and milk at midnight, but surely deserve more than crumbs. That have scrolled floors and buildings where you were never meant to own the deed. They have typed reports and filed papers for promotion that went to the lesser minds and privileged skin. Hold your hands up, sister. Let me see the geography of your struggle, written in the lines of your palm, the Tiffany of resilience mapped across your knuckles. I've been searching for you in boardrooms where your voice was an echo, in classrooms where your history was footnoted, in hospitals where your pain was questioned, in courtrooms where your truth was cross-examined until it became recognized even to you. But here, in this moment of recognition, in this space we call from nothing but necessity, your hand become lighthouses, guiding ships home through storms that meteorologists never named because they couldn't measure the pressure system of systemic oppression. Hold your hands up, my sister, and I will mirror your gesture, creating a bridge of flesh and bone over chasms that said were unbreakable, a testament to the fact that isolation always their weapon, never our truth. See how your fingers catch the light? Each one is a story of survival, a chapter in a book that tried to burn before it could be written. Your thumb pressing down, hallelujah, on ballots that said wouldn't count. Your index finger pointing towards your horizons they said you never reach. Your middle finger, well, we know what that one's for. Your ring finger adorn a bear, declaring that your worth isn't defined by their approval. And your pinky, the smallest but essential, prove that even the small most overlooked can shift the balance when joined with others. In factories where you stitched garments for bodies that look nothing like yours. Your hand moved in rhythm older than machines. Maintain the beat of labor, songs your grandmother hummed while picking cotton, while cleaning houses where they weren't welcome as guests, while raising children who looked like their employees, kids, but would never inherit that privilege. Hold your hands up, sister, so I can see the callus on your palm. From the mop panel, the garden tool, the steering wheel of the night shift bus, but carried you between your three jobs. Let me witness the small cuts from paper that documented your rejection, the burns from stoves you cooked on the kitchens that would never be yours. Be also let me see the gentleness there, the way your hands know how to braid hair to crowns that rival your tiara, how they can transform cornmeal and hope into meals that taste like home, how they wipe tears from faces that mirror your own struggle, applied band-aids to scraped knees and wounded spirit with ache of tendency. Your hands have applauded quietly when your daughter graduated despite every barrier that was placed in her path. Have clapped thunder when your sons came home from a traffic stop with only one in his life intact, have slow clapped their hypocrisy when they preach equality while practicing exclusion. Hold your hands up, my sister. Not in just to stop, but when stopped too long already. But the raised fist of resilience, the open palm of welcome, the interlaced fingers of solidarity that said, your fight is my fight. Your liberation is my liberation. Your freedom is only freedom worth having. I see you women who cleanse office buildings while studying for her law degree, who hands grip textbooks and toilet paper, toilet brushes, and equal determination, who pass the bar exam with cleaning solution still under their nails, providing the dignity either determined by the work we do to survive, but by the dreams we refuse to abandon. I see you in the mother who walked miles to vote in the election, where her candidate lost, but her participation was victory enough. Whose hand held the hands of other mothers waiting in line that snaked around building designed to discourage, to frustrate, to defeat, but your hands, our hands, they held the line. Hold your hands up, my sister, so I can count the ways you've been magnificent. One finger for every time you smiled when you wanted to scream. Another one for every time you said please when you should have demanded one more, for every time you have told you asking too much when you asked for everything they gave freely to others. But count also the victories, my sister. The finger raised when you said enough, the fist clenched when you decide to fight, the open hand extended when you choose to lift someone up, the pointing finger when you declare this end with me, not my daughter. Your hands have written letters to representatives who never responded, have signed petitions that collected dust in offices where they were never intended to matter, have filled out applications for loans denied, for jobs even a less qualified candidate, for apartments in neighborhoods where you were told wouldn't fit. But your hands have also written checks to freedom fighters and food banks, and have signed your children up for everything you were denied: music lessons, summer camps, college applications, voter registration, have filled out forms for businesses you started when corporate America wouldn't hire you. Creating your own American dream from material that said wasn't available to you. Hold your hands up, my sister, so the sun can illuminate your henna of your heritage, the gold of your roots, the silver of your wisdom, and the bronze of your endurance, the copper of your conductivity. How have you carried the current of change through communities that needed your energy to survive? Let the light catch your rings you wear. Wear the wedding bands that declare your love's a world that question your choices. Class rings from schools that said you'll never graduate. Promise ring to yourself about the women who become despite their limitations. Memorial rings for the ancestors who died fighting battles you still winning. I want to see the hands speak in sign language of survival. How you spell out hope letter by letter in the darkness. How you sign your name to Declaration of Independence by declaring meant for you to ratify. How you gesture towards futures that said you weren't yours to claim. Your hands have planted gardens in concrete neighborhoods, have coached flowers from soil poisoned by redealing and neglect, have grown families for food for families in food desert they created, proving their lives found a way, even space designed for death. Hold your hands up, my sister, and I will hold mine up too. Creating a constellation of defiance against the dark skies of your there no a galaxy of possibilities spinning in spaces between us. Each finger a star pointing toward the world we feeling together in a crossing of our palms. I see the intersection where our struggle meet, where your fight your for equal pay meets my fight for productive freedom, where my your battle against racial profiling meets my battle against gender discrimination, where your demand for education access meets my demand for healthcare equality. We are not identical in our oppression, but we are identical in our determination to transform pain into power, silence into songs, invisibility into presence so profound they never unsee us again. Your hands have counted pills you couldn't afford, counted dollars never stretched for enough, counted votes in elections where every ballot was an act of faith, counted the days until change come. Count on nothing but your own strength and the strength of women like you. But now let's count together. Count the movements you built, the barriers you broken, the minds you changed, the daughter you raised to believe that they deserve everything you were denied, the sons you taught to see women as a full human being worthy of respect. Hold your hands up, my sister, and let them be the map that guides the next generation through territories we claim it now, over mountains we're moving with the bare hands, across rivers we cross it with nothing but determination as a bridge. So how would your hands tell the story of every woman who came before, the surrogates, the sufferings, who chained themselves to gates, the civil rights workers who linked arms across bridges built from bodies and will, the labor organizers who held picket signs higher than their fear, longer than their hunger. Your hands carry their DNA, their determination, their refusal to accept impossible as an answer. When you hold your hands up, you hold your legacy up. You hold their dreams made manifest in your existence, your presence, your persistence, and your resistance. I see your hands reaching back to pull forward the woman still climbing, reaching forward to clear the path for girls not yet born, reaching across every divide that carved between us, race, color, religion, sexuality, age, ability, and geographic. Proving that solidarity isn't theatrical, it's practical, it's possible. It's happening right here in the space between your hands and mine. Hold your hands up, my sister, so I can see the magic there. How you transform minimum wage into maximum impact. How you turn that no into your watch me. How you your rejection into your own acceptance of yourself as worthy and powerful as revolutionary. Your hands have held the hands of the dying, comforting them with their final moments with their same tenderness. You shown to newly born, welcome them into a world you determined to make them make better than the one you inherited. In nursing homes and delivery rooms, in courthouses and classrooms, in boardrooms and break rooms, and your hands are proven comfort, deliver justice, and shared knowledge. Demand respect, taking breaks only long enough to gather strength for the next battle. Hold your hands up, my sister, and I will stand with you, not behind you, not in front of you, but beside you in the formation that make us stronger. A line of women with raised hand creating a horizon of possibility. They never saw it coming. We are daughters of the women who survived everything: slavery and segregation, internet and interment and immigration, poverty and parocracy, violence and violation. We carry their strength in our palms, their wisdom in our fingertips, their dreaming spaces between our fingers. Your hand have signed checks that bail out friends and families, have written letters to prisoners forgotten by everyone else, have filled out forms for welfare and food stamps while they call you lazy, have applied makeup to cover bruises they said you deserved, have packed suitcases in the middle of the night when staying being become more dangerous than leaving. But your hands have also signed leases for apartments you earned, have written thank you notes for promotion you deserve, have filled out deposit slips for accounts that said you never have applied for passport for trips they said you never take, have picked suitcases, have packed suitcases for vacation you financed with your own success. Hold your hands up, my sister, and let them cast shadows that look like freedom, that spell out liberation in ancient language of resistance, that point toward tomorrow where your granddaughters won't need to fight these battles again. I want to see your hands raised, not in surrender to their system, but in celebration of our survival, in acknowledgement of our power, in recognition of our beauty, in declaration of our worth, in demonstration of our unity. When you hold your hands up, you hold the sky that was falling on all of us. You hold the ceiling that said was made of glass, but was actually made of their fear of what we might accomplish if we will truly join forces. Your hand pressed against the ceiling, feeling for the cracks, find the weak spots, preparing for moments when you push through. Not as individuals, but a collective force of women who has had enough of making ourselves smaller to fit into space designed to contain us. Hold your hands up, my sister, and I will place my hand against yours, palm to palm in an ancient gesture of promise and power, created between us space where truth lives, where dreams grow, where the future is born from the labor of our love for each other and our refuse to accept anything less than full liberation for all of us. In this moment, with our hands raised together, we are not victims of violence. We are not statistics in their reports. We're not footnotes in their history books. We are authors of our own stories, the architects of our own freedom, the creators of a world our great granddaughters will inherit as their birthright. Hold your hands up, my sister, so I can stand with you in this space we created from nothing but necessity and love. This space where your hands and mine become instruments of change, tools of transformation, weapon of liberation, so powerful they shatter every chain they forged, ever forged to bind us. Here, with our hands up, we're no longer alone. Here, we are unstoppable. Here, we are free. As I take a moment to reflect, this poem stands as a testament to the power of women supporting women, of solidarity across difference, and a revolutionary act of standing together in the face of a system designed to keep us divided. May it serve as a both battle cry and a lullaby, both warming and welcome, both mirror and map for the journey toward liberation, that we walk together, hand raised, heart open, spirits unbreakable. Hold your hand up, my sister. I am with you.